Answers for living in Mexico, Medicare, what you can expect, banking in Mexico, debit cards in Mexico, and getting your Social Security, all in this video here. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here. Jerry, what is this video is about?
Well, what people are doing, they're asking us, we're walking around the village and stuff, and they're new down here, going to talk about Medicare and the advantage of Medicare and the disadvantages. The other thing about Medicare, we're going to show you some numbers that we spend for different doctor care, and that this way you can take and see what we're spending, knowing that here in Mexico you cannot get Medicare, and these are expenses that we have to pay out of pocket when we do these services, and it's going to be doctor services and care that we do out maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. So that's what this video is going to be about, Lori. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
Okay, here's the question in this video. Can you use Medicare insurance down here in Mexico? What do you think, Lori?
I don't think you can use it.
No, you can't use it down here. Well, I just picked up my lab report here, and this has all of my blood work, cholesterol, etc. And this lab report cost me 140 US dollars. You can see, living in Mexico and not being able to collect Medicare, it starts to add up. So now I'm going to take this report and we're going to go get a physical and see the doctor and see how I'm doing. So let's go now to the doctor's office. Okay, great news. I just went to see the doctor for my annual physical, and all my blood work and everything, cholesterol, everything is great. So he says, actually I'm about a 28-year-old guy, so it made me feel real happy. He may have been lying to me, but I still like it. Okay, that physical there was $80 US dollars. So again, you can see how things add up. Okay, now I'm maximizing this lab report. And also I'm setting up my appointments with my doctors, my cardiologists, and everything there. So right behind me is my cardiologist's office. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show him the blood work, and then he's going to check out my little ticker here to see how it's doing. So let's go inside and I'll give you a report when I get done. Well, I'm doing well. I guess because my report was good with my doctor and my physical, it was good here also. So my cardiologist said, you're looking good, you're looking great. We don't need to see you for another year. That makes me feel good. I do take medicine for my heart, and that's a whole different subject matter on what it costs that I can't qualify down here with Medicare. Well, let me give you an example. So for all my medication, on the average, it costs me about $300 a month for that. Can't use Medicare down here, so that's another out-of-pocket expense. Now today, to see the doctor, it's just an office visit. It wasn't real technical or anything like that, and that was $40. So it adds up little by little. But I'm in good health, I have the right medicine, and I feel good about it. And it's well worth the cost to know that I'm healthy. Today is dermatology day. I'm going into the dermatologist here and checking it out. I like to do this about once a year, but I'm finding out I need to do it about every 6 months. Okay, let's look at the hard numbers here now. So my lab report was $140. My physical exam was $80. My cardiologist was $40. And also my monthly medication is $300. And then I had the dermatologist appointment of $90. That comes to $650. Okay, now that we have to pay out of our own pocket because, one, we don't have medical insurance down here, and Medicare does not cover you when you live out of the United States. So when you're calculating living down in Mexico, consider these numbers. Maybe you're young enough that you're not going to have these types of expenses, but as you age more, then you run into this type of a situation. So if you're coming down here and you feel you can live on $1,500 a month, and if you're, 75, 80, 85 and stuff, that may not be realistic because you will have these type of expenses. And so because you can't collect Medicare down here, you may reconsider. There are cheaper places in Mexico to live, and you can choose them, but we choose to live here, which is a more expensive area. I hope that clarifies some things for you about the expense of Medicare and no Medicare. To talk about Medicare insurance. Well, Medicare insurance, you, as a United States citizen, you're eligible for it. You have to be 65 years or older, and that's a benefit that you have paid in. And so outside of the United States,
You can't use it.
you cannot use it. Let's say they go to Thailand.
No, you can't use in Thailand.
How about Cambodia?
Even not use it.
No. And how about Europe?
No way.
Okay. So in other words, you cannot use it outside of the United States. Can only be used in the United States if you're a US citizen, and outside of the country, you're not eligible. They will not cover your medical bills or anything like that. Possibly if you're in an emergency situation, they may cover that. I'm not quite sure about that. But in general, on a day-to-day basis, they're not going to cover that. So be aware of that. If you're expecting to travel and use Medicare, you're not going to be able to do it. Not only in Mexico, but any foreign country outside the United States, they're not going to let them use it. And this is a little interesting thing about it is, if you decide to live down here, what you need to do is you need to have a U.S. Address where your mail from Social Security office and stuff like that will go to. Now what we do carry Medicare insurance, even so we can't use it down here in Mexico. But in an emergency situation, let's say something real serious happened, then we could go back to the United States, and because we carry the medical insurance and we pay for that, it cost us, one person is about $135 a month to take care of that. And we feel that's a value because if something happened where, severe thing where the doctor bill may be, $50,000, $100,000, $300,000, bang, we'd be in a lot of trouble, wouldn't we? And so by having that as a backup plan, and we've never had to use it. A lot of people down here, they just cancel it out and they don't have any benefits and stuff like that. They save that $125 plus a month, maybe between $1,800 a year, and so they don't feel that they need it here. So no, you cannot use Medicare in a foreign country, and you have the choice of holding on to it or not holding on to it. And remember, you have to keep a U.S. address. So if the Social Security office wants to mail you anything, then they'll mail it to that address. And then what you can do is you maybe leave it at a relative's house, you use their address, or a friend's, or whatever. Also, we have 2 other videos that you may find of interest. One of them is going to be on how can you use your Social Security money down here, or maybe a pension down here, and we're going to explain that in that video. Also, we're going to show them the steps that they need to take to open up a bank account down here, and the documents you're going to need, and can you open up a bank account down here. We have done other videos about banking accounts here, and so maybe if you've seen that, this video may not interest you, but we're going to go through opening up a bank account here, what type of documents you need. What's another thing we're going to talk about here? Oh, I know. We're going to look at ATM machines. And we're at the end of this video, we're going to give you a idea of how you calculate how much money to take out of an ATM machine. So let's just say you want $300 out of there. We're going to show you how we calculate it. That way when you go up to the ATM machine that's only going to give you pesos, you're going to use your debit card, and then it will then give you back the amount of pesos you need. This way you don't, you'll know exactly what you need to take out that meets your daily withdrawal rate. So we're going to hit a lot of things.
Okay, yes, a lot of people ask me, say, hey, how are we going to do ATM? How are we going to do the banking account?
Yeah, so let's get into this little video here. I hope it helps you. And listen, give us a comment. Let us know what you think about this. What do you think about the idea of living in Mexico? And do you need a bank account? Would you like a bank account? Am I being clear with you on what the requirements are? And also ATM machines and debit cards. So just give me and give us your feedback. We'd appreciate that.
Well, thank you for take your time to watching us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys very much. Okay, I've gotten money out of the ATM machine now. And what I'm going to do at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate how much money you would need to take out of that. Let's say you want to take out $300 US, and how you'll end up with these pesos. So stay tuned for that at the end of the video. What are we about? Well, we make videos to help you and how you can retire in Mexico. How many countries have we traveled to, Lori?
Well, we're traveling over 36 countries.
So combined, we have something like 60 years of international travel. So we've picked up on some tips and tricks and stuff like that about how you can retire in Mexico. Maybe you have your Social Security, maybe you have a pension. So we're talking about things like banking in Mexico, getting Social Security checks down here in Mexico. Can you get your Medicare in Mexico here? What about health insurance? What does it cost for health insurance? We're going to talk about getting a 50% discount in health insurance living in Mexico. We're going to talk about things like, how about your permits? What does it take to get a visa down here? How long can I stay here? A lot of practical information we're going to share with you through our videos when you subscribe. Our goal is to provide information to help you retire or travel and on a budget or within your budget, and that way your money goes a lot further and stuff like that. We'll talk about rentals in Mexico. We'll talk about buying. Should you buy or should you sell a home in Mexico? Just a lot of different things. And then we'll take you out to colonial cities and show you what they look like there. And so come along with us on our adventure through Mexico. And we have quite a few videos that are going to help you to do your due diligence to see if Mexico is right for you. So this has been Jerry Brown
And Lori Brown.
with Jerry Brown Travel. Hey, we just came out of the bank there and we used our debit card and we have Mexican pesos. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about how you can take your Social Security check and use the money down here. Or maybe it's a pension that they have, Lori, and they can use the money down here. So we're going to give you a little explanation on that very simple process. So let's tell you a little bit about that.
Okay.
Now, how do you get your money down here? How do you get your Social Security, your pension? How do you get it down here? You know, is it really a hassle? I'm really confused about that. Those are some of the questions that we have been asked. And so the other thing, this is a two-part series. Right now, in this video, we're going to talk about debit card, how to get your money down here. In the second part, Lori, we're going to discuss to them how to open up a bank account. Can you open up a bank account down here? So here in this part one, let's talk about your Social Security check. Well, it's very simple. Here's what we do. We actually take our Social Security check, and you can have this done automatically. Social Security will do this for you. You let them know what account, a bank account that you have in the United States, and where you want that automatically be deposited to. Well, once it's deposited in there, then what we do is we use a ATM card, and we get out of the bank, just like we just did there, and we get the Mexican pesos. Very simple process like that. A lot of times you don't even need to open up a bank account here. Have your Social Security check deposited in your bank. Use your debit card down here. The other thing that we do, we use Charles Schwab. We have a Charles Schwab account, and we use their debit card. And the reason why, and there are other banks that will do this now, you don't have to pay a foreign transaction fee. And so typically here you're going to spend about $1.80 to maybe as high as $3 to do a take out money out of the ATM. And also they would have a foreign transaction fee that would be on top of that. But by having a credit card where they will pay all of that for you, that saves you a bit of money. That helps out. What they do is they charge it to your account, but then they'll credit it back to you. So try that as a alternative. It's a basic process, you know, so that's how we do it.
Yes, we just do that.
Yeah, and so we have money here, and we don't have to worry about a bank account, and you don't have to worry about anything like that. The other thing is we have two debit cards. Lori has one and I have one, separate names. And the reason we do that, we've never had this happen to us, but we have heard, not here in Mexico, but other places we have traveled, we have heard where they go into an ATM machine and the ATM machine gobbles up their card, and now they're traveling and they don't have any way of getting any money out. So by having two accounts, if by accident the machine gobbles up your card, then you can use the other person's card. The other thing is on your deposits, make it a minimum amount. In other words, don't make it too much just in case you lose your card. So let's say you need to live on in a week, let's say you need $300. Then only take out that much money, and also design your card so that's all you can take out on a daily basis. Let's say it's $300. This way, if somebody gets your card by accident, the most they can take out is $300. In this video, people are asking us, can they open up a bank account here in Mexico? Is it possible? Is it complicated? Is it confusing? Well, we're going to answer that question for you here. But first of all, we're going to tell you what documents you need to have. Whoops, got caught. Little lipstick there.
Yeah, well, first thing you need a real passport, not a copy one. And second is, what is it, honey?
Utility bill.
On?
You have to have a utility bill in your name, and it shows your address here in Mexico.
Yeah, and the third thing is, most important thing is rental agreement.
So they want to see address again. So when you have these documents with your picture, like your passport, and then your addresses, also you'll need to take in your Social Security. You may not have the card. I don't have my card. I haven't had it for years, but just tell them the Social Security number there. And some of the banks are asking a couple things. They may want to see your driver's license. Take that in. And also, now you don't need to take this in right away, but we have heard, it's not our experiences, that some of the banks are asking for two references. But don't go in and don't worry about that. If later you need that, you can get a couple of references down here. Check with us and we'll give you a reference. And so now you're going to need your visa, and that can be a temporary visa or it can be a permanent visa to get your bank account. Well, it's pretty easy down here. And the great thing about is that when you go in, they speak
Spanish and they speak English.
Most generally in there. And so they'll work out the paperwork with you. Also, people want to know, can they invest down here? Some people want to invest their money down here in Mexico. And so, yes, there are investment houses here where you can do that. The banking is very easy. The investment things are very easy in here. And so that's basically all it takes is to open up a bank account down here. And so we have a debit card and we have a checking account. So we have a savings account and a checking account with a local Mexican bank. Okay, I've gotten money out of the ATM machine now to show you how to calculate how much money you would need to take out of that. Let's say you want to take out $300 US, and how you'll end up with these pesos. Well, you're going to need an app, a money exchange app. Go to your app store and download Money Exchange Calculator. And this way, you'll be able to figure out how many pesos you need to put into the ATM machine to get out the amount of money you're looking for. Just download that app. Great. Now you have your app for your money exchange. And this is what it'll look like. You see at the top, it gives you US dollars. And below that, in yellow, it says Mexican pesos. And below that, it has a calculator. This is how you're going to figure out how many pesos you're going to need to put into the ATM machine. So let's say $300. That means below, that's how many pesos you're going to need to put into the debit card machine to get out 300 US dollars, equivalent in pesos. You could easily round that up to 5,000 to keep it simple. This is based on today's exchange rate. And then when you do that transaction, it then is going to charge your debit card for a bank fee. And if there is a foreign transaction fee, it's going to charge that. That's why we recommend using Charles Schwab. Then you don't pay that foreign transaction fee. Now you have enough money to spend in pesos. And Lori doesn't have a lot to say today, I can see. But tell him something, Lori. Tell him something. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
Can you hear that guy behind us here? He's just, he's having a great conversation on his phone. What you doing, Lori?
Wow, we come here to make a video, and then I see this exercise area. I couldn't, wait it. I have to do something. This is a good exercise in a park.